For some people, it's easy to realize what their sexuality is early on in life, but for others, they don't realize it until after they're married. At least that was the case for one writer for Orange is the New Black. Her name is Lauren Morelli, and she recently had an amicable divorce with her husband because she realized that she was a lesbian. She's currently dating one of the stars of the show, and she wrote about this online. She shared her story, and I want to tell you exactly what her perception of this entire encounter was. She said, "I realized I was gay in fall of 2012, one of my first days on set. It wasn't so much one thing, but the sum of many small details, how uncomfortable I felt around groups of lesbians, or how I considered myself a not very sexual person. When considered alone, these seemed like little quirks that made me me. Wanting to read a book instead of having sex is a perfectly reasonable preference to have, right?" Later on, she says, "I was finally forced to consider a question that had never, ever occurred to me before. Holy shit, am I gay?"
I find that amazing.
It is an amazing story. I mean,
so that's her on the left, and then that's the woman who plays Poussey.
Yes. Okay. The actress's name is Samira Wiley.
Okay, yeah. But her character is named Poussey.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So now I understand the story a little bit better. Okay. First of all, now that I've seen Poussey, I get why you're attracted to it.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean her, of course. If you're the husband, you gotta be thinking like, really? How did this go down? But he seems like he's a swell guy. He's like, oh, it turns out you're lesbian. Well, God bless, go on, go forward. So she kept one of the cars, he kept the other car, and they called it a day.
So the divorce, at least based on how it's been reported, was amicable. They were married for 2 years. It seems like they were able to do so in a civil, mature adult way. There were no harsh feelings or hard feelings. And there's no indication that she was cheating on him before they divorced. There are all these like really negative, terrible reports about her, people like tearing her apart, probably from the right who are upset that she's lesbian to begin with, right? But I think the scariest thing is, I think that she probably thought or had suspicions about her sexuality, right? But maybe she was afraid of it, and maybe she didn't want to address it or confront it. And imagine how scary that is, to be in a relationship that you know you're not happy in, but you feel kind of trapped. And by the way, I'm putting words in her mouth. I don't know if she felt trapped, right? I'm just thinking about how I would feel if I were in her shoes, and I would definitely feel trapped. If I'm like working on this show and I'm realizing, oh my God, I'm attracted to women, but I'm married to a man, what do I do? That's a real identity crisis and situation that I don't know how I would deal with.
So let's keep it real here. I think that she started writing for a show about lesbians in order to work out what she was feeling inside, and couldn't quite put into words until she put it in the words of her characters, right? And she now pretty much recognizes that that is what was happening. She explained to the cast, and that's why they kept asking her questions, because a significant part of the cast was also lesbian. And they kept asking her, oh, so you used to kiss girls before, which she did. And it's, to me, the most amazing part of the story, putting all our goofy kidding aside, is that how much societal pressure could shut down a person's natural instincts, right? I mean, she was obviously attracted to women all along, but because of all the expectations and pressure, she so assumed that she must have been straight that she didn't even consider being gay as an option, even though she had already made out with women. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
Right. And finally, she goes through this psychological phenomenon of writing for a show where there's a lot of lesbians, and she makes the characters fall in love, and then she goes, wait a minute, that's me.
Yeah. And a lot of people are upset with her because they feel like she broke up her marriage and she didn't work hard enough. And once you take your vows, it's supposed to be as serious as possible, which look, when you get married, you should take your vows seriously. I'm not trying to belittle that, right? But at the same time, like, what did you want her to do? Remain married to a man that she wasn't in love with and who she had absolutely no interest in having sex with?
Well, so look, there's two different things there. I agree. I mean, obviously, I've taken the vows. I think they're very, very important. And obviously, I want my wife to take it seriously. I take it seriously. And just like being out of love for that minute doesn't mean, okay, I gotta go. I'm not in love with you anymore, right? But that's not what's happening here. Yeah. She's saying, I'm attracted to a whole different gender.
Yeah.
There's no fix to that. There's not like if I work harder, then I might get attracted to the male gender. That makes no sense.
Yeah, divorce.
So let her go. Let her go.
Divorce is an option for a reason, right? Some people abuse that option, but I think this is a perfect case of where it's justified. And by the way, if she stayed married to him, she's not doing him any favors.
In the beginning, if your wife comes home and says, "It turns out that
I like that."
Yeah, here's who I brought home. Okay, you might be thinking that she is doing you a favor. Things have gone well in your life. But come to find out that you're not invited, yeah, well, that doesn't work out as well.
Exactly.
So, like I said, it's not any of our business anyway. The husband has decided he's perfectly fine with it at this point. Ex-husband, by the way, she kept a Lexus. He kept a Mazda hatchback.
Damn. Well, who knows? Maybe she's making more money. You don't know.
No, I hear you. But I mean, if you're going to leave me for a lesbian, at least give me the Lexus. Is that unfair? By the way, it doesn't matter who you leave me for. Leave me the Lexus.